India. With a population of 1.16 billion people, it's the second most populous country in the world, after China. According to the United Nations Human Development Report, only 66% of those aged 15 and over are literate, 39% of those who should be in education do not actually attend school, and 16% of the population do not have a chance of surviving beyond the age of 40. India is a country of many extremes, with land levels lying from sea level to over 7,000 metres above sea level. It is one of the most diverse countries in the world. Whilst holding offices to some of the most well-known companies in the world, many of these offices are flanked by slums. However, in such a populous country, it should not be forgotten that nearly 70% of the population, or 810 million people, live in rural locations, outside the big cities such as Delhi, Mumbai and Kolkata. 11% of the total population are not using an improved water source. This equates to approximately 90 million people rurally, 10% of the world's total.
Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Holly.
And here we are at the RUCHI headquarters in Himachal Pradesh.
And RUCHI is the Rural Centre for Human Interests.
And we're 1 month into a 6-month placement out here.
The assignment is a rainwater harvesting project. The project site is in a village called Bogpur, which is about 40 minutes journey from here on the really bumpy, windy roads. Bogpur has about 100 residents, and during the dry season, which is now, they have a real problem with water. So RUCHI are providing ferro cement storage tanks so that they can harvest rainwater from their roofs and store it. As I say, it's the dry season right now. It hasn't rained for about a month, and it'll be another 2 months before they get a reasonable amount of rain again.
And here's a little bit about what we've been doing so far.
Well, the Bogpur project actually officially started in December, so a lot of things had already been constructed before we got here. So one of the first things we did as we arrived was to do a thorough inspection of the site, making sure that we could maximise the potential in the village and making sure that everything was as it should be. We looked at the infrastructure that had already been put in place, the ferro cement tanks, the latrine blocks, and of course the catchments to check that they were suitable. Unfortunately, a lot of them weren't, and we noticed lots of problems. Some weren't big enough, some of the concrete roofs were just not suitable. A lot of them around the village are flat, which obviously aren't ideal catchments. You generally want a sloping roof, and sometimes they were even sloping the wrong way. One of the biggest problems that we saw was actually where the inlet to the tank was above the outlet for the roof, so technically water would have to flow up to get into the tank, obviously quite a big problem. Also lots of drainage problems in the village. It's a very hilly site, as you can see. Natural drainage can be used, but this obviously needs a lot of work. We've also been surveying for the possibility of putting in an irrigation tank to ensure that during the dry season the villagers can actually use the water to maximise their harvest.
So of course another part of what we're doing is every time we go into the villages we speak to the people who live there. And well, John and I hum Tori Tori Hindi bolte hai, but it's not really enough to communicate properly with the people in the village. So there's a lot of sign language, and of course when the RUCHI project workers are there as well, they can translate for us. But it's been really fun and really challenging communicating with people, and they're very forgiving of our terrible Hindi. They're also extremely hospitable, extremely welcoming. They're always ready to give us lunch, and endless cups of sweet tea, which gets a bit much after a while. They really are worried about their water situation, because it's a 3-kilometre round trip walk to the nearest water source, and there are some government taps, but the supply is very intermittent, very unreliable, and in fact in one part of the village they've been destroyed by some recent construction work going on the nearby road.
कुछ सवाल हैं जो आपसे पूछना चाहेंगे, जो काम हुआ इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा। ये जो समस्या थी पानी की, ये आपके गांव में कब से है? मतलब
बहुत जी 4-5 साल ऐसे हो गए भी, बहुत बुरी समस्या है इधर पानी के लिए। हमारे को बहुत ही बुरे हाल है हमारे। अच्छा। सूखा इधर तो कोई चीज़ नहीं, कोई चीज़ हम अपने घर की लगा नहीं सकते। डंगरों को पानी पिलाना हो तो इधर से रस्से से खींच के ले जाते, फिर कैंटोन में जाके पानी पिलाते। अपने लिए पूरा दिन पानी ढोते रहना, खाना खाना, फिर पानी फिर ढोने लग जाना। ये तो बहुत बुरे हाल हो जाते जी, बहुत ही बुरे हाल हो जाते। कहाँ से हम पानी ले आए? गाड़ी को किराए पर गाड़ियाँ करनी, फिर बर्तन इकट्ठे करने, फिर पट्टा में पानी के घट्टा में पानी के लिए मना कर देते, तो फिर कई बार से पानी लाएंगे, किराया दो 12-12 हज़ार मांग लेते, 1200 मांगते हैं टैंकर वाले।
अच्छा, ये जो आप कंट्रोल से पानी लाते थे, ये अब आप कितनी बार जाते हैं और पहले कितनी बार जाते थे?
पहले अब तो थोड़ा कम है जी, अब तो हम बहुत ज़्यादा कम जाते हैं। जब से टैंकिया और ये बन गए हमारे लिए, तब से हम बहुत कम पानी के लिए उधर जाते हैं।
कितनी बार कितनी बार?
भाई सिर्फ एक बार जाते, सवेरे लाते हम कोई ताज़ा पानी लाते भी, चलो ताज़ा पानी पीने के लिए अच्छा। हाँ जी, बाकी डंगरों के लिए भी हम टैंकियों में से यूज़ कर रहे हैं, सारे बर्तन धोने के लिए, कपड़े धोने के लिए, सारा पानी इन टैंकियों में से यूज़ कर रहे हैं। पानी के बगैर से।
अच्छा, रुचि ने जो थोड़ा बहुत काम किया आपके लिए, जैसे ये टैंक्स बना दिए हैं, ये टॉयलेट्स वगैरह बना दिए हैं, जानवरों के लिए जो झोड़ी बना दी है, इसके लिए कुछ फ़ायदा हुआ आपको? कि
बहुत फ़ायदा है सर, इससे तो हमारे को बहुत ज़्यादा फ़ायदा है। इसमें हम लेटरिंग करने के लिए हमें वो दूर जाके जाना पड़ता था, फिर कहाँ से इधर से बोतलें चक्के फिर जाएं उधर जाके फिर वापस आए, लोग देखते भी कहाँ से औरत आई होनी, कैसे क्या करती होनी, शर्म आती आदमी के सामने भी कैसे जाना। रात को बारिश में हमारे बुरे हाल हो जाते भी, कैसे जाएंगे, देखते रहेंगे भी अब बारिश बंद हो, अब बारिश बंद हो, फिर उधर जाएंगे, फिर लेटरिंग करके आएंगे, रात को अंधेरे में कैसे जाएंगे। अब हमें इतना फ़ायदा है, हम उधर से ऊपर से आएंगे, बाथरूम में लेटरिंग बैठेंगे, अपने वापस साफ करके और वापस।
चलो, मतलब फ़ायदा हुआ इससे?
बहुत ज़्यादा फ़ायदा है सर, टैंकी का हमारे को बहुत ज़्यादा फ़ायदा है।
So now you've seen what we've been doing over the past months. What do we plan to do for the next 5 months? Well, today we were lucky enough to help see the remediation work start. The remediation works include putting in drainage channels, improve the drainage of the village, improving some of the FCT tanks and repairing them because some of them have cracks in, and also helping to construct 2 irrigation tanks. And everyone at RUCHI and us will be supervising, and everyone at RUCHI will also be helping us construct them because of the low number of people living in the villages.
Okay, so we were doing quite a lot of work ourselves today actually, so everyone's getting involved. And there's also another project starting in December in another village called Bagpatia, which is in the other direction, I believe. And that's going to be a similar project to the one in Bhopal, but this time we'll be lucky enough to be there right from the beginning, so we'll get to do the planning really well right from the start. We won't be there to see the end of the project, but we're really excited about being there for the beginning of it.
So we're going to leave you now. We're going to try and do a video like this every month, so please keep your eyes on